Hey everybody, today I'm going to be talking about hockey skate wheels. So this is a very controversial topic on what types of wheels everybody likes. So let's get into it. I've got a whole bunch of different wheels here. But before we start, I want to say something. All the wheels here are all done in for the hardness. Goes for pretty much all skate wheels. So wherever you purchase the wheel from, it's most likely going to tell you how hard the wheel is, but you do need to know what how like the different hardnesses of them. So it's going to be like 82A is like your pretty average outdoor wheel, and then 76A is your pretty average indoor wheel. So the A rating is determines how hard the wheel is. If the A rating is lower, that's the softer the wheel. The higher the A rating is, the harder the wheel is. So, like these wheels right here, these are 82A wheels. So these are very hard wheels. They're about your average outdoor wheel. And then something like these wheels right here are 74A, and these are a really soft indoor wheel. So, with that out of the way, let's get into a bunch of these wheels here. Alright, so starting off over here, we've got the Rink Rat Hot Shot. So this is an older wheel, but the Rink Rat stuff is roughly the same these days. So I don't generally like Rink Rat wheels because it does, it's not as grippy after a few times of skating on it. So you do notice it stops making noise when you hockey stop very, very quickly. It just ends up being very quiet and slick after a few times of riding it. It's a 76A wheel, and it was a dual pore urethane, which means that it has softer urethane in the middle and harder on the outside, so that it would get like a flex on the wheel as you were skating. I don't really notice much, but they say it is there, so that's one thing to keep in mind. So that was the middle kind of class wheel, or the lower end type of wheel, and then this is the higher end type of wheel. So this is the Rink Rat Hornet Split Triple X. Those were Triple X as well. That just determines how hard the wheel is. That was just kind of like Rink Rat's way of telling you how hard the wheel is. I didn't really care for it, but yeah. So here's the Rink Rat Hornet Split Triple X. Now this is also roughly the same as the new Identity hockey wheels. So I believe you are going to have some of the wearing problems that you still have with these skates, just based on my friends' wheels that have these. So, or that have the Identities, I mean. They are also a dual pore urethane wheel, and these are also Triple X's, like I said, which means they are 76A. And really, I think the only difference of these that you're going to notice is the wheel is split, so that it kind of gives a cool effect as you're skating. But I still don't really like the wheel that much, just because it does get so slick after riding it. So, especially for the hardness of a wheel being a softer wheel. So moving on, I really like this wheel. This is a Rink Rat Envy wheel. Now this is a 74A wheel. They also made them in 78A, which is an indoor-outdoor classified wheel, which you can use indoors, like I'm going to talk about here later. And I generally think this is too soft of a wheel, but if you're still getting started skating, this is definitely a good wheel. I'd definitely get a really soft wheel like this. They're really cheap. They're awesome. These are actually my first set of indoor wheels that I ever got, and I still like them. They're just a little bit too soft, especially if you're I'd say anywhere over 150 pounds. So, but you should be fine if you're under 150 pounds, if you're not skating really aggressive. So that's the Rink Rat Envy. I like that wheel a lot, and if you can find any equivalent or soft wheels, you might want to get them. This is the Revision Variant Classic. Now this is a 74A wheel, and so this is also a very soft wheel, but this was a dual pore urethane as well. These actually came on the DS2 skates. So it was a dual pore wheel as well. I feel like the inner layer is a little bit too soft, so when you're skating, it rolls over a little too much for my likings, and I noticed it very clearly. But the wheel is amazingly grippy, so if you just like really grippy wheels, this is a very grippy wheel, and Revision did a very good job with making it grippy. So if you like grippy but don't mind it rolling over very much, then this is a really good wheel. I like it a lot. So moving on, we've got an outdoor wheel here. Now you can use this wheel indoors or outdoors. This is a high-low clinger wheel, and so it's an 82A wheel, which is generally an outdoor wheel. I wouldn't recommend this if you're just getting started skating, but if you're quite advanced, you could use this for indoors. It's going to have a lot harder of a feel from something, say, like this wheel right here, which I'll talk about later. It's going to have a much harder feel, like much more aggressive, like on your feet, harder feel, like it's a harder wheel. So it's going to be much more energy actually going up into your foot, but it's also going to give you more power transfer into the ground, and it's going to result in you being faster. So if you can handle the grip issues with having a harder wheel for skating indoors or on a sport court or whatever, this is a very good wheel. I like these wheels a lot. I don't personally ride these indoors just because they are a little hard from what I've seen. So I may be trying some harder wheels like this indoors though. So moving on, this is my all-time favorite wheel right here. This is, let me get the other one. This one's a little bit better of condition. This is the Lebeda Addiction. Now, there's mixed stuff on how hard this wheel is. I believe it's an 83A on the outside and then something softer on the inside. I believe Inline Warehouse says it's like a 78A or something, but to me, it doesn't wear like a 78A wheel, or 78A wheel, other than like these shooters right here, because of like shoe sizing, I feel like, with wheel harnesses, where some companies will do it harder and some companies will do it softer, just depending on what company it is, but they'll call it, there's one standard A rating for all of them. So, but whatever it is, this is my all-time favorite wheel. It's the most grippy. It lasts a very long time. This one's a little bit worn down, but you can still use it a lot longer. They don't split like some of these wheels. That's one thing I forgot to mention. These wheels right here will split just because they are so soft. So they don't really split. I did have a little bit of issues with this one over here. This is also an Addiction, but these were really old and they like feel noticeably. So they're my favorite wheel. They're one of the lightest wheels on the market as well. They're even lighter than a wheel like this, which is the Lebeda Shooter wheel, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So, but like I said, that's my all-time favorite wheel. I just like the feel of it. I like the weight. I like everything except the price. That wheel costs like $14 a wheel, so that's a little pricey. But moving on, this is a little more bang for your buck. This is a Lebeda Millennium. Not to be confused, because they do call it a Gripper Millennium. It's not to be confused with the Lebeda Gripper wheel, which is a completely different wheel, which I'll talk about later. So this wheel right here is actually a Lebeda Gripper Millennium. They make these in 3 colors. They make them in purple, this color, and yellow. So I just have the orange one to show you here. Unfortunately, you can't get the purple ones in the hard, or the soft as they call it, variety. You can only get an extra soft, which is 74A, which is also seeming to be softer than a 74A usually is. So this wheel right here is a 76A wheel, and this is just the soft variety. You can, for some reason, only get the orange and soft and the purple and extra soft. You can't get them in anything else. I don't know why, but I believe the yellow you can get both of the harnesses. So these cost about $8 a wheel. A little more bang for your buck. I tend to find that they wear a lot faster than the Addictions over there, but they also split right here. You can see they're a little focus. Okay, it's not going to focus, but the wheel is a little bit split up. That's just from kick stopping or whatnot. So I like the wheel a lot, though. They're not my favorite wheels, but these are the Lebeda Grippers, like I had previously mentioned. Now, these are an 80A hardness. I believe they make only an 80A for some reason, but it doesn't matter. 80A should be perfect for no matter what you're doing. I believe they come in yellow, white, and what other colors? I think they might come in red, I think is what it is. So I think they might come in red. So these are very nice wheels. They're very grippy. I tend to find that they aren't as grippy as these wheels over here, the Lebeda shooters, which I'll talk about here in a minute. So they aren't as grippy feeling, and they feel harder because they are harder, but they feel more like this than this for some reason. I still like the wheels a lot. They don't wear very fast. They screech for a long time when you hockey stop or kick stop or anything like that. So I like the wheels, but they are a little more expensive than this wheel. So they're around $5.99 is what I think they're priced at right now. But I really like those wheels. Highly recommend them if you can find them on sale anywhere. Definitely pick them up, but if you can't, I would probably recommend this wheel. So moving on, we've got the Lebeda Union. Now, I've never rode these wheels, but I figured I would mention them because my brother loves these wheels, and I just haven't got any yet. They are like $12 a wheel, so I think they're right under the Addiction wheel. Moving on to one of my all-time favorite wheels. This is probably my overall second favorite wheel, second to the Addiction, of course. This is the Lebeda Shooter, and it's a 78A wheel. It's a single-pore urethane wheel. It's also, they make them in green, white, and they make them in green and white, I believe, but I don't know if they make them in any other colors. But either way, the wheel is an awesome, awesome wheel. I rode these exact wheels, I believe, because I have 2 sets of them, but I think it's this set. I rode for about a year, skating hard on them, and I got them half off at a hockey shop, and they're brand new, and I bought 2 sets of them, and they're awesome, awesome wheels. I just love them. I got them for $15 a set, which is, if you don't know, like, these wheels are gonna cost you like $130 a wheel. You want to say anything about your unions? Alrighty, so this is the last wheel. This is just a Lebeda Addiction, and this is representing a Lebeda Dynasty. I just couldn't find the Lebeda Dynasties. They were lost somewhere. So they don't really get used much because they are a smaller sized wheel, and my brother hasn't tried them yet. So, but I did ride the wheels before I passed them down. They were all green wheels, and they felt a lot like the Addictions. They didn't feel all the way the same, but they felt a lot similar. They felt quite a bit similar, and yeah, I liked the Dynasties a lot. This obviously isn't a Dynasty, but so I've got that about wraps it up for this video. I will be doing an outdoor wheel video, so if you want to see any of my a bunch of different outdoor wheels that I have, opposed to just like indoor specific stuff, because outdoor wheels are going to be harder, and they're going to be that you use harder wheels so that they don't get just shredded outside. So I'm going to be making a video on that. This is just indoor wheels for now, though. I'm going to also be making a wheel collection video, so make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching, guys. Bye.